Okay, in this video I'd like to talk about triad construction, the types of chords that you can create when you're looking at a scale. So basically, we have a major chord and everything is again going to be based off of the major scale, and the major chord is simply choosing the 1, 3, 5 of this scale. That's how you create chords. You choose the 1, the 3, and the 5 of the scale, and that makes a triad. I'll write that up here, triad. The triad are the notes in the chord of C major. So if I play a C chord on the guitar, I know that these notes are C, E, and G. Every single string is playing one of those three notes. For example, the 0, the open 6th string, is playing the E note. The next string down on the 3rd of the A, well, this is the C note. Okay, on the 4th string here, this is the D note. It's the 2nd note of the D note, which is another E note. A lot of notes. Then we have an open G string, which is the 5th. And then we have the 1st fret on the 2nd string, which is a C. And again, an open E at the bottom. So all the notes that we've been played for a C major chord are the notes C, E, and G in various places. So that's really cool and all. But what happens when we have a minor chord? Well, what we have to do is we have to look at the major chord, and then we have to take the flattened third. So basically, C minor is C, E flat, G. Put a little flat right here because we have to flatten that note in order to make this proper. So I can no longer play a C on the normal position here because we have E strings being played open, and this has to change. So in order for me to be able to play a C minor, I would have to find a C note. Let's try here, and I just happen to know the position of a bar chord here. Anyway, so that's all that has to happen. We have to flatten that third, and we're just looking more of music theory here, not of really, how to play it on the guitar or whatnot. So you don't need to really know the tabs here. We just know that in a minor chord you have to basically have a flattened third. Finally, we have a diminished chord, which is a flattened third and also a flattened fifth. So that's gonna look something like this. In fact, I'll do a C diminished. Yeah. That's actually a diminished chord right there. Alright, so it sounds really nice. So there we have basically the formulas for building chords. So let's take a look at some other chords. Let's try A. So let's try the A triad. Now, if we count these letters, right, we have to count the first letter of the scale, the third letter, and the fifth letter. Now, I would highly encourage you to memorize triad notes, like the chords. I happen to know that the notes of A are A, C, E, and I've just memorized that. So I would highly recommend to memorize these letters. A, C, E are the components of the A chord. Now, if I was going to play an A major chord, well, let's just take a quick note. I'll write down all the letters of the A scale because you actually have to first consider the scale itself. And we have to look at the major scale. So we actually have to find the major scale of A in order to figure out this whole formula. So first we're going to write down all the letters: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and A. Now, in another video, I talk about how to calculate scales. So hopefully you've seen that video, and you know that I need to have a big block here. So and a big block here, and then a smaller block right here that connects those two. So I know that between the B and the C, I need to have 2 spaces, but I know that given these, well, whatever, I need to sharpen the C. I need to sharpen the C, and I need to sharpen the F as well, and also the G sharp. No, actually, off here somewhere. Oh, no, yeah, I do need to sharpen this G sharp because the last two notes have only one space apart. So this is the major scale of A, and you can see how now we have to look at the 1, the 3, and the 5. So let's check that out. 1, 3, and 5. And again, this just confirms that the letters involving the A are A, C, E. A, C, E. But there's a C sharp, and that's because the A, C, E is actually A minor. I just know that. So I know that if I'm playing a C sharp, then it's a major chord. So A, C sharp, E, that's just the 1, 3, 5, that's the major chord. If we want to make the minor chord, we have to remove this sharp. And if we want to make it a diminished chord, we actually have to flatten the 5th here. Okay? And that gives us the 3 different chords that we have. All right? So let me even just kind of write down the letters of this chord. I have to find my eraser though. So I'm just going to write down the 3 chord components here. We have the A, C sharp, E. We have the A, C, E, and then we have the A, C, E flat. Okay? Those are the 3 chords of A. Let's try the same thing for, let's try a D. I'll just avoid the B. So here's the D, and now we're going to write out the scale again. D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and D. I happen to know that the notes involved in the D triad are D, F, A, D, F, A. So it's something you want to remember. Again, it's A, C, E, D, F, A, and there are others. That way you don't have to write out the scale. That way you just know the triad. So we have to make sure that the blocks are here. This is the D, E. When we need to actually sharpen this F, we need to sharpen the C here, and I believe that is all. So yes, we have to calculate the major scale. That was for another video. Now here we have to take the major, which is D, F sharp, and A. Okay, that's just the D major chord. Then if we want to make it minor, we have to flatten that 3rd, so we remove the sharp. And if we want to make it diminished, we add a flat right there. So that was the notes of all the D chords. So I'll write out those letters so you can see all 3. D, F sharp, A, D, F, A, and D, F, A flat. Okay, let's try just another 2 or something like that. We get the E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. How can you do this without calculating all this stuff, writing out the scale? E, G, B. You have to memorize the triad. Here it is, E, G, B. I know that this is the triad for E minor, which means that in the regular E minor scale, this G note is actually sharped, so is the F. Okay, this is the scale. This is the formula for major. 2 spaces, 2 spaces, 1 space here, 2 spaces, 2 spaces. This is sharped, and this is sharped. We got 4 sharps in the E major scale. Anyway, so we have E, G sharp, and B, and this is the major chord. Like, you don't even have to know about all the rest of the notes in order to make the triad. That's the thing. If you memorize the triad, E, G, B, and D, F, A, and A, C, E, if you just memorize the natural notes that go in here, and you remember that that is a specific chord, so E, G, B is E minor, not E major. So in order to make that major, you have to sharpen the G. All right, and if you want to keep it minor, you just E, G, B is the minor chord. E, G, B flat is the diminished chord. Okay, and so let's take away that. So now we have the E minor, and again, flatten that, makes that There. So one final chord. I'll just write out these so you can see. E, G sharp, and B. E, G, B, and then E, G, B flat. If I do an F, it's going to be FAC. I just happen to know that. But FAC is major, okay? I know that's FAC is part of the major chord. FAC is major chord. And then FA flat C is the minor chord. And F, A flat, C flat is the diminished. So you can see how easy this is when I know the letters. G, B, D. That's a major G. G, B flat, D makes it minor. G, B flat, D flat. G, B flat, D flat makes it diminished. Alright, so now I'm out of space. So you can see there's sort of two ways to go about this. One is to calculate the scale of major scale of the letter A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. And then I have to go, well, what's the 1? What's the 3? What's the 5? Oh gosh, I already forgot the scale. I gotta write this on paper, Or you could just think ACE. You just memorize these triads right here in the middle. We'll notice that these triads are minor and these natural triads are major. You have to know, if you say C, E, G, you know that's a major. So let me just kind of write down all the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, we know that C, E, G. Just gonna give you the code here. C, E, G is C major, and then B, D, F is the B diminished. So this is diminished, this is minor, this is minor, this is minor, and the rest are major. All right, so that's a secret strategy to memorize the triads without having to calculate anything. You just memorize these: CEG, BDF, ACE, DFA, EGB, FAC, GBD, and then realize that these chords are specific chords, and I'll write them next to the triad. So you know that ACE is A minor. You know that DFA is D minor. You know that EGB is E minor. You just accept that and then just calculate from there. If you need to make it diminished, you just flatten the fifth because the G is already flattened. Okay, so here we have F major, G major, C major, and B diminished. Okay, so for B diminished, if we want to calculate B major, we have to sharpen both, because this is already here, like this is 3 flat, 5 flat. So if we want to make it a D minor, we have to remove the flat here. So we have to sharpen the F. So here it is, B, D, F sharp is the minor here, because this one here is B, D, F. This is all natural notes. So this one must be B, D, F sharp, because that 5 has been altered. Now as we approach the major here, B, D sharp, F sharp. So now we have to sort of remove the flats from both of those in order to make our major and minor chord of B. So anyway, hopefully this was interesting and helpful, because this is my shortcut to memorizing all these triads and calculating it quickly. You don't have to do the whole outline of the major scale and then write it out on paper and then underline the 1, the 3, and the 5, and then try to, remember the formulas: 1, 3, 5, 1, 3 flat 5, 1, 3 5 flat, and then try to calculate that. No, you don't have to do all that. You just remember these 7. It's like 7 digits of a phone number. You just remember these 7 chords. That's it. Those are all the possible chords in music. And then you just if you want to go crazy with this, you can actually go one more letter, because ACEG is a minor 7th, And anyway, so hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one.